Hey everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video. I have had a number of my customers contacting me and asking or begging me to make a Sweet Darkness soap. And that is what we're going to make today. Now, Sweet Darkness is actually one of the shampoo bars that I have on offer, and people just love the fragrance that goes into it. So I am going to make the soap today. I am a little bit concerned about what's going to happen with the color of this one as it begins to go through its cure process, but I am going to keep the color palette on this one quite dark. I'm also keeping it quite simple and decorating it with some botanicals, which is something that I very rarely do with my soaps, but I had such a beautiful bag of botanicals which I'll show you in the video, and I was kind of really inspired to put them on top of this soap. So let's go and see how I make my Sweet Darkness. Let's go. Alright, so let's get into making this soap. Now, it is going to be a relatively plain soap because I'm not sure what the fragrance oil is going to do to this one. It has got 2.9% vanillin, but I think it's got a lot more ET vanillin, which this particular company doesn't tell me what that is. So I do have a feeling it is going to go very dark, but I'm going to use some dark colors in it. And then I'm going to keep the top of this one very simple as well, and we're just going to decorate it with a few botanicals, just making sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. That's a bit better. Alright, so I'm going to pour my lye water into my oils, which are up at room temperature. Going to give them a mix, and then I will split them out for the colours and show you what we've got. Okay, so for the colours today, I have got some black oxide in this jug, and I'm going to go about there with this one. And then in this jug I have a bit of a combination of colours. I have some deep violet. It's by a company I don't quite trust their micas, so I've mixed in with a little bit of Catalina blue, just to try and make sure that that blue colour holds in there, but I want it to be quite a dark colour as well. So I'll give these just a little bit of a mix, and then into my big pot I'm going to make this one into deep purple. Yes, I'm going to be happy with that colour, so let's get the deep purple in. Okay, so here is my fragrance oil for the Sweet Darkness. It's got notes of lemon, orange, jasmine, rose, musk, and vanilla. I'm going to start by pouring it into my purple and see how it actually behaves, and then decide how I'm going to actually tackle this soap in terms of whether I'll do an in the mold pour or an in the pot swirl. We'll just wait and see. It does smell really good as it's hit that soap, so hopefully it's going to hold really well in this one as well. So let's get all this mixed in, make sure I've got all of that mica and colour up from the bottom of my pots as well. It is playing nice, famous last words. So let's pour a bit into the blue and into the black, and we'll pour the rest in there. I'll get them mixed up and then we'll grab the mould. I'm thinking we might do, I haven't done one for a long time, let's do a Clyde slide on this one. So all I'm going to do is pour my blue and my black down the side of the pot here, and then I will pour it into the mould. So we have the mold here, so I've poured all of that colour down this side, so I'm going to pour it so that colour is going to go down the side of the mould. And just let it slide on down. I can tell that is already looking really, really good. Let's get all of these pots scraped out, decorate the top, and then I have some botanicals to put on the top of here. I'm loving how the colour actually naturally separates with this swirl. So all I'm going to do is run my chopstick backwards and forwards on it, just on the very top, just to get that sort of little bit of a, I don't know what they call it, it's got a name, but it's some sort of swirl. And then I'm just going to run round like that, just to drag that swirl around and give it just a little bit of shape. I'm really, really happy with how that is looking so far. Okay, now the reason I went with that sort of colour palette, not only because of how dark this fragrance is, but I got these botanicals one day when we were out shopping. Hubby and I had gone off on like an outing trip, and we'd gone into a town called Ipswich, and there was a shop there, another candle maker called Embers and Twine, and they had these little packs of flowers, and I really, really liked this one, and I thought I'll grab them and I'll one day put it on top of a soap. And this is going to be the soap I put it on. So I'm just going to sprinkle it down this one side, because I really like how dark that other side is. That is a really big flower, so I'm going to make sure it goes so that I don't end up cutting it through the soap and pulling it through. This mix has got mallow flowers, which are those big purple ones there. There's some jasmine, which is one of the scents in here, and it's got some cornflower petals as well, and I really like the vivid blue of cornflower petals. Here's another one of those giant mallow flowers. I'm going to stick a couple of these on along the way, making sure that I put them so that they're going to be cut between the wires. There we go. I'm getting a bit carried away with these mallow flowers. I just decided all my bars needed one if I could get one out of here. I'm really, really pleased with how that is coming together. I'm just deciding, I think it does need just a little bit of sparkle on there. So let's grab some of the holographic biodegradable glitter just to finish that off on the top. Okay, so as I said, it is a very plain and simple soap, mainly because I don't know what this fragrance oil is going to do, and I am loving how that one has turned out. So I'm going to leave it sit here overnight, and then we'll come back and we'll see what sort of swirls and patterns we've got on the inside of this one. Okay, we are ready to cut into Sweet Darkness, and I am loving how this one has come up. On this side, you've got all that beautiful blue and black. I did get a little bit of stickiness when I went to unmold this one. I kind of unmolded it just a little bit too soon, but I have discovered with these molds, you either have to unmold them dead on time to be able to get them out nice and smooth, but if you're too early or too late, they get sticky in the mold. And I think I was too early with this one, but that's okay. Once we've got it cut into the bars, it really won't be noticeable. Now, as I said, I am going to cut this one on its side just because of all those botanicals. I don't want them dragging through. So I've turned it so the botanicals are facing me, so that if you do it so the botanicals are on this side, you're still going to end up dragging them through. So if you can, always put your botanicals facing towards you, and that just helps stop that drag through your soap. Let's squeeze on down through this one. It is set up quite hard. Oh, I don't think I've lost too many flowers, just a couple, and thunk Ida goes. Let's grab one from the middle. I'm really, oh, well, that wasn't quite what I was expecting on that side. I was expecting a lot more, but that side looks a little bit better. It's got some very wispy colours in there. I forget though, I suppose when you do the Clyde slide, it doesn't go all the way through. It does keep to that one side of the soap, but I really, really do love that blue and that black together, and the purple just brings it all together. Oh, that side's nice. I like that side. Very pretty. if you come and follow along with me over on Instagram, I will post pictures of these ones closer to their cure time so you can see just what the fragrance oil is going to do to these, whether they are going to darken up or not. I'm really hoping that they stay this sort of bright sort of colours, or at least colours that are identifiable as blue, black and purple. If it does darken up but still keeps those sort of tones of colour, I'll be happy with that too, because I've got a number of people, oh that side's nice, got a number of people who are wanting me to keep this in the range as a permanent soap, but I really don't want another sort of brown black soap sitting on my shelf, because I've got an awful lot of them at the moment with all those Constellation soaps I've been doing. Oh, I really like that side. That was a bit more of what I was hoping for, not what I got out of the first cut piece. Let's try a couple from down this end as well, because it depends how it flows. Oh, that's quite pretty. A lot more delicate on that side. So this was obviously the end that I poured in first and got all of that colour heavily poured in that one end. But I am really liking how this one has come up. It does smell good as well. It has lost a little bit of its smell, but hopefully that will come back as it's sitting there curing. Occasionally fragrances do. When you first cut them, they seem to have lost their smell, and then after a couple of days it all comes back again. But there is the other side of that one. This end's definitely my favourite end. Oh, look at that one. So I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made my Sweet Darkness soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.